Welcome back to JV2 Chat. I'm Edson, and again, we're just here. We're gonna talk about some football that happened over the week. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, thank you to everybody here who has subscribed, or just watches the videos. I really, really appreciate it. Again, social linked down, and we'll just continue to grow. But if you're here, thank you. Let's just talk ball. Running it back, we ended on Monday, February 6th, last video, and I kind of cut it into two. I think that's what I'm going to start doing. Going from Tuesday to Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's how I'm going to end it off. That's how I'm going to talk about it. Hopefully, make the uploads either Monday or Tuesday, and then either Friday or Saturday. And then we will go from there and we'll see. So we move into Tuesday, February 7th, where we have a couple of games on the DFB Pokal, which again, round 16, I'm just going to go through them. Not the, if it's the big ones, then I will go through them. But we have Freiburg who beat Sandhausen 2-0. And then we also had Frankfurt who won 4-2 against Darmstadt, something like that. But yeah, Frankfurt got the win on this one. And again, they have exciting players. Frankfurt have exciting players. Colomwani is the one that's popping up a lot right now on people's radar because he's doing good. He's doing so good. Obviously getting the goal. Aurelio Buta, the right mid for Portugal as well, is another one that's also popping up and just going into people's minds and just doing good as well. Frankfurt likes to pick up players, young players like this as well, and just grow and develop them. Mario Götze as well, who's kind of had a little revival from what his days used to be as well, just doing really, really good, and he'll just fit into this Frankfurt team really, really good. Rafael Borre getting the second goal. Kamada as well getting another goal, who was on, I think, Manchester United's radar for a little bit, but he ends up getting another goal, assisted by Colomwani. Colomwani getting his second and third goal contribution of this game in the 90th minute, assisted by Mario Götze, who again, just a comfortable game for them. There was some scare at the other team did score two goals in the first 30 minutes. By that time, it was already 2-1 with them leading, but then obviously Frankfurt shut it down, as they know how to do. I'm pretty sure that's all the games for the DFB Pokal, but that's how that happened. We also have Flamengo against Al Hilal, who again, very, very good game to watch. FIFA World Cup, of course, and it was the semifinals, in which we saw um, this was going to be an intense game no matter what, because obviously we have Flamengo who are just good, have a couple names and are just great. Al Hilal as well have a couple names that you might have heard of, you might have seen because of the World Cup. And we see Al Dawsari, who is the author of that very, very nice goal against Argentina. He scored the penalty in the 4th minute, which then we saw Flamengo score in the 20th. Pedro, I'm not sure if it's the one that went for Brazil, but he ended up scoring the goal. Gerson, who I don't know for what reason, I just don't see him as a footballer. He was playing for Marseille for a couple, and then came back over here, and then red card. So of course didn't work like that. Dawsari scoring another penalty a little bit after that, which I'm pretty sure that's when he got the red then, because he got it in the 45th plus 8. Dawsari converted the penalty in the 45th plus 9. So by that time it was already 2-1. And then we saw Luciano Vieto, who again, Argentinian cam, very, very good back in his day. I remember, I think it was FIFA 17 or 18. Again, I'm talking about FIFA because that's where I remember him from. I can't remember what team he played for, but he was very, very good. And he scored the goal, but then Pedro ended up getting his second of the match in the 90th plus, but it didn't do anything as Aldosari had already had that lead. Again, very, very good game. Obviously, you get to see different styles of football, different techniques, as they are both from different parts of the world. And that's what I love about this tournament. Because as much as it can be like, I don't even know, PSG against Barcelona or something like that, it's just crazy because you see Brazilian magisterial team against an Saudi Arabian magisterial team. And very nice, very good. In which we see that happening in the FIFA World Cup. So Al Hilal moving up into the final, of course. And then we see a Serie A game in which we see Juventus go in on Salertina, which again, Salertina have been conceding a lot of goals, but Juventus have not been in the best of forms. in this case, we do see Juventus totally dominate and just win 3-0, which again, they need to win those games because of that point deduction. They're down there. They can only hope to get Europe somehow, and they just need to win all their games. So again, good way to do it by winning. But again, a lot of their players are. I don't even know if they're in the process of leaving, but that's what is going on. We see Duhan Vlahovic score a goal in the 26th minute via penalty, and then we also saw Filip Kostic convert a goal in the 45th minute, which again, Filip Kostic was a very, very good addition. If I'm not mistaken, I think him and Vlahovic are from the same country. And then again, we see Vlahovic just convert another goal in the 47th minute, which just called the match. Vlahovic as well, target man for Juventus, and just very, very well to link up, very well to deliver those goals. I'm not sure I can say he's better than Haaland in terms of ability wise and playing. I know Haaland is a machine at scoring, running off on the and thriving off of the counterattacks, as he just has that pace, has that build to just run through people. But I don't know if Vlahovic is actually more technically gifted than him in terms of like how Harry Kane is technically gifted. I'm not sure, but that is what happened on that match, and Juventus just won like that. And then not a lot of action on this Tuesday, but we do get FA Cup matches in which we see Burnley win 2-1 against Ipswich, and then Fleetwood win 1-0 against Sheffield. Grimsby win 3-0 against Luton, and then the match that I was looking forward to was Wrexham against Sheffield United, which I wanted the dream for Ryan Reynolds' team to keep going. Unfortunately, it does not, as Sheffield United win 3-1. But again, the whole story of it and where it got them, it's an inspiration, and they could just hope that this is going to be a turn for them, a revolution for them, but we will have to see. But again, exciting things for them and exciting for the whole FA Cup. And yeah, we'll just keep going and keep seeing what happens. But they ended up losing that game, unfortunately. What else can be said? Into Wednesday the 8th, and which we see again, it wasn't a big game. Obviously, no, I don't even know it was like a known game. It was an elite game, but it did appear, and I didn't catch the game, but I did watch what had happened throughout the game, in which I see Cruz Azul against Atlanta United, which again, exciting. Cruz Azul, obviously not in the best of forms in La Liga MX, but just an exciting game to me to watch because again, it's MLS against the Mexican League, and it's just good. We just saw 3-3 it being, and there's a lot of things that you can take from this. I'm not sure if Atlanta. I know it's a preseason game for them, but I don't know if they're in the best of forms or if they were. I don't remember where they exactly placed last season in the MLS league or whatever. But 3-3, I guess that's a good result for us. Obviously, it would have been better if we won, but I know we're in a lackluster form. At least it shows that we're scoring goals, but also conceding them. So we'll have to see how we improve on that. But games like these are exciting, especially when there's leagues going on. So yeah, that happened. We see Nuremberg against Dusseldorf, which the game ended 1-1, but it went to pens, in which Nuremberg won 5-3 on those. Again, the FB Pokal, just like that, an exciting competition to watch. Obviously not towards the back end of it, but towards the whenever you get to the later stages, it's exciting. We also saw Borussia Dortmund against VfL Bochum, in which we did see Dortmund struggle a little bit, but they did, however, get the win. Emre Can got a goal in the 45th +1, and then, Bochum was the one that scored the goal then in the 64th minute by a penalty from Kevin Stogger. But then Marco Reus, Diro captain Dortmund, scoring the goal in the 70th minute, assisted by prime youngster Jude Bellingham. Again, just very good for them, obviously, to keep going in the competition, to keep growing as a team, and just keep thriving. I really like Dortmund as a team, the project they have in which they buy people, develop them amazing, and make them world-class players. But yeah, we'll just keep seeing and keep seeing what they do and just hope that they can keep doing it and do better on it. Coupe de France, we do have some games. Grenoble won 1-0 against Vierson. Auxerre lost against Rodez, which ended 3-2. Olympique Lyon and Lille tied 2-2, and then Olympic Lyon won 4-2 on penalties. Good game to watch, good game to catch, but Olympic Lyon end up getting the better of them. Paris against Annecy, not PSG, Paris. The game ends 1-1, and the penalties were spicy as they go 5-6, and Annecy is the one that takes the win on this one. We have Toulouse against Reims, which again, Reims is the whole manager story, which is just crazy, but they end up losing this game 3-1. Angers against Nantes, which they tie 1-1, and Nantes actually gets the win on pens 4-2. And then probably just the craziest game of them all, PSG against Marseille, in which we just see PSG, poor PSG, just not do what they're supposed to do. Yes, they were out with some of the players, but it was just not good enough. It was not good enough. I know that they were obviously missing big names, but it doesn't matter. They should win this game. Marseille, obviously they've been amazing. They're sitting second for a reason, and some of their players are just need to be praised. Alexis Sanchez, obviously probably one of my favorite players to watch just because of how good he was. Obviously had the downfall after his Arsenal days, and from there on out, Manchester United, Inter. I don't know if he went to another team, but it just didn't work out there. And now Marseille, he's not putting crazy numbers like he was, but he's doing good. He's doing fairly decent in the French league and for this team. Unahi as well. I know he didn't start, but he's just an amazing player. This team is so well balanced. Unahi, Guendouzi as well, such a young midfielder for them. Malinovsky as well, just doing amazing from Atalanta. Klaus, very good to watch. And Bemba, the center back, just amazing. A lot of praise can be said about this team, and that's what I want to take away more than talking about PSG and how they lost and this and that. Yes, well, it is just a completely bad thing that they lost it, because I think that's PSG. They don't have an identity to their team, and this is what I was thinking. I don't know. Some teams do it. Play to the style that suits their best player. Messi with Barcelona, we've seen it. Haaland with Man City right now, we've seen it. Examples like that. But obviously, PSG have three of the best attackers in the world, and something's just not clicking. They don't have an identity to that team, and it's just, I don't even know if you can just call it wasted talent, but wasted potential to what they could be, because they buy the biggest names and do the biggest things, but when it just comes to simplified, well, I can't also just expect them to win every game, but that's just my criticism. If I was to criticize a team, they don't have an identity. They just play. Honestly, let's just see what chance can be created. But I don't know. It's just weird, and it's a weird topic to talk about, at least for me. But that's just how I see PSG. Marseille, completely amazing. They deserve the win, and we'll just keep seeing what happens on this Coupe de France. As now we just see that they're derailed. PSG. We'll see what happens in the league. However, we do see PSV win 3-1 against Emmen, which again, PSV, one amazing team to watch. I didn't know that they had that center back from Everton, Jared Braithwaite. Who, I've used him on FIFA Career Mode, and he's just amazing. But obviously, we're talking about a video game and not real life. But I think he's completely class, and he's really added something into that PSV team. Young, English, hungry, wants to get minutes, just like Xavi Simons has added to this PSV team. I think that defense has fully been boosted as well. And obviously, he's scoring both goals as a center back. Very good. Luke De Jong as well got even involved in the game. And as well, what I saw was that Thorgan Hazard, I had completely forgot that he went to PSV, but just adding to that class. The PSV is a very good team, and I'm not sure. I think they are in the Europa League team, so I'm very interested as to how that's gonna play out. But yeah, that's how that happens. We have an FA Cup match in which we saw Fulham win 3-2 against Sunderland. Tight game, but Fulham get the job done. Harry Wilson scoring a goal, Andres Pereira scoring another, and then Laivin Kurzawa getting the last to seal off the win as the game was 2-2. As the game was starting to look a little tight. But then obviously Sunderland get the goal after that in the 90th minute, which made it look even tighter. But Fulham just get the job done, which is good. FA Cup as well, done. We then see the Premier League, in which we see Manchester United against Leeds, who again, this is the first game that Leeds had without Jesse March. So it's going to be very interesting to see. And it was indeed. They were very physical in that game. I saw it as McKennie and Tyler Adams did some monstrous tackles. And it just worked. Um, Obviously, we know Manchester United is a completely different team without their CDM Casemiro, who is just exceptional to watch. They obviously had the lead, I want to believe, or it was Leeds who had it. Let me just double check because I'm not sure. Gnonto did score the goal in the first minute, which was assisted by Patrick Bamford. Gnonto just has had such an uprising and is such an excellent player, and I'm glad he's in the Premier League and thriving. But we'll keep checking him and just what happens with him. Rafael Varane then scored an own goal, which then they were 2-0 by then, so they had to come back, which again they just did. Marcus Rashford scoring a goal in the 62nd minute, assisted by Diogo Dalot, and then a player who I'm glad that scored, Jadon Sancho. We know that he went away a little bit for training on his own, mentality and stuff, and he just came back, scored a goal, helped his team get a point at least. Marcus Rashford, not world class. He's just world class, clutch, everything. Amazing, but Jadon Sancho is just a player that I want to see at his very, very best. Not only in the Manchester United team, but in the Premier League, because crazy numbers for Dortmund. And I hope he lives up to that potential because he's such a technically gifted winger and a player in general. That's what happens in the Premier League match. They just have to replay it. And yeah, the next one, in which we see the other semifinal of the FIFA World Cup, Real Madrid against Al Hali, which again Real Madrid just completely demolished them and get the job done. But we still can say a lot about Al Hali because they did get to a semi-final. Um, and obviously, just against Real Madrid, you can just say a couple things here and there. But I mean, it just what happened, and we just saw it like that. Vinicius Jr. scoring the first goal, which then followed by Federico Valverde, which we just see him in the score sheet after so many months, but it's good. We then see a penalty get scored on by Al Halil, Ali Malaul, sorry, scoring the 65th minute, and then Luka Modric missing a pen in the 87th minute. But then we see Rodrigo convert a goal in the 90th plus 2 minutes, and then a youngster for Real Madrid, Sergio Arribas, getting a chance in the 90th plus 8, and then scoring as well in the 90th plus 8. And again, I'm not really sure if Real Madrid are praised for creating or making youngsters like that, but what is his name? Their manager, sorry, I had a brain fart. Their manager was very, very happy to see that he scored. And again, just very good from Real Madrid. Um, as they move into the later stages, which is the final of the FIFA World Cup. But that is all the action that happened on Wednesday, February 8th. We're then going to move on just to Thursday, February 9th, in which we do see Al Nassr, Ronaldo's team, against Al Weda, in which Ronaldo scored 4 goals against. That's the type of Ronaldo we wanted to see. 4 goals, completely dominates the match, and just contributes to that team in excellent and amazing form. Obviously, we know that they're sitting second in their league, but what I did want to watch was how the league was actually set up or who was above them. Al Shabaab was above them. Okay. Not gonna pretend like I know that team, but obviously, if Ronaldo could win the Saudi league, then great. But they ended up winning that game 4-0 because of Ronaldo. And hopefully, we just continue just living life and chilling. But that's what happened on that game. We see Ajax win against Twente in their cup, 1-0. Just a goal assisted by Mohamed Kudus, which again, Mohamed Kudus, amazing player. And hopefully we can just see him do great things because I think he's been like to a couple teams. So yeah, we'll just see what happens with him. We see again Coupe de France, Lorient against Lens, which again just a good team to watch if you know about these teams. 1-1, in which we saw Lens win 4-2 in the penalties, which is again great because Lens are having an amazing season, regardless or not if they win the league. They should be getting top four. Hopefully, just Europe, Champions League. If not, I can still call it a win season. And Lorient as well just have had an upbringing and have gotten some big results. And yeah, they ended up losing this match, but it's just a good game to watch in my eyes. But Lens take the lead and Lens win, and we can just hope to see them more often as now they're going to advance into the quarterfinals. We do see, again, Liga MX games in which we see León against Querétaro, León winning 3-0 against Querétaro, and Atlas against Monterrey, in which Monterrey won 2-0. Though that's all the action for Thursday. We then move into Friday, in which we see Bundesliga games. Schalke against Wolfsburg, the game ended 0-0. Not a lot of action there. Serie A, we do have Milan against Torino, in which Milan won 1-0. Again, getting back into the winning ways, winning habits, which is good for them because they've been very, very out of form. But again, they just got to win against Torino, who Torino are pretty up there in terms of where the table stands. And Milan just hopefully get a revival from this and can just change the outlook of what their season was looking like as they went downhill for a couple of matches. Olivier Giroud, sorry for being cringe, scoring the goal in the 62nd minute, assisted by Theo Hernandez, who again, Theo Hernandez, one of the best, if not the best left back in the world. Amazing at this team, amazing what he does for this team, how he contributes, and Olivier Giroud, amazing as well. Veteran striker that just gets you the goals when you need them. So, yeah, they just connect on that and give Milan their first win in a couple of matches, so it's good to see that. La Liga, we do have Cadiz against Girona, in which Cadiz won 2-0 against Girona. Again, Girona were not having the best of seasons or whatnot, but not Girona, sorry, Cadiz. Cadiz was not having the best of forms, and they ended up getting the win. But Girona, obviously, having one of the best seasons that they have in a while with some of their players, but just ended up falling short on this one as Cadiz is able to get 2 goals on them, with Sergi Guardiola and Gonzalo Escalante scoring the goals. Nothing much to say about that game as I did not watch it, but that's how it ends. We see Nice against Ajaccio, in which Nice won 3-0, again in the French league. And then we'll look at the goal scorers. Dante, the Brazilian center back with the crazy afro, scores the goal in the 3rd minute. Brahil Brahimi scoring a goal in the 69th, and Brahil Brahimi again scoring his 2nd in the 90th minute, assisted by Ross Barkley. Which again, just an easy game in terms of what the scoreline says, but they just move it like that and ended up getting the win. Liga MX games, we see Puebla against Mazatlan, 3-1. Puebla getting the win, and Tijuana against San Luis, 1-0, in which San Luis got the win. In terms of Friday, that was it, and in terms of this video, that was it as well, because we're going to be stopping on Fridays now. But again, if you enjoyed the midweek, maybe want me to talk a little more about anything, that's just how it go, a little runway of some thoughts, of some ideas that just happened throughout the match, and that's how we go with it. But again, thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, it means a lot to me, and yeah, continue watching if you enjoy it. Thank you guys, see ya.